In this video, we're going to talk about solving multi-step inequalities. So this is very similar to solving multi-step equations. The goal is still to get the variable on one side by itself, but there are a couple of main differences between solving multi-step equations versus inequalities. The first thing is that inequalities don't have an equal sign. They have the inequality sign that you can see here highlighted in yellow. Another main difference that we will see at the end of this example is that if you multiply or divide by a negative number, you have to flip the sign of the inequality. So let's look at this example. You'll notice that the flow map is very similar to solving regular multi-step equations. First, you always want to eliminate any parentheses, and we normally do that by distributing. So I'll distribute this -5 and multiply it times each term in the parentheses. So that would give us -8, and we multiply -5 times 4k and multiply -5 times +5. Bring down the inequality. And on the right, since all we're doing in this step is distributing, everything comes straight down. Okay, now we want to combine like terms, and we're going to combine on the left and then combine on the right. So on the left of the inequality, we need to locate where that is. So there's the inequality, so everything on the left side. What are our like terms? We have a variable k, and the other two terms, -8 and -25, are just constant, so we can combine those. So we can bring down the -20k and simplify. -8 minus 25 is -33. Bring down the inequality. Now we can combine like terms on the right side. Notice this time we have two terms with the variable k. So -7 minus 8 is -15k, and bring down the +4. Again, always want to keep in mind where your inequality is. All right, now we can get the variable. Notice that we have a variable k on the left and we have a variable k on the right. We want them to be on the same side of the inequality. So to do that, we're going to move it by adding or subtracting it on both sides. So let's say I add 15k on both sides. You could add 20k on both sides. Either way, you'll end up with the same answer in the end. But I'm going to show you something that happens when we do this, which is a very important part of this process. All right, and now we simplify. So -20k plus 15k is going to end up as a -5k. Bring down the -33, bring down the inequality symbol, and bring down the 4 that remains on the right side. Okay, now we have our k in just one location, so that's great. But we want to make sure that our constants are all on the same side. So now what we can do is move the -33 away from the k. So add it, since that's the inverse, we're going to add it on both sides. So +33 plus 33. And now we simplify. Bring down the -5k, bring down the inequality symbol, and then 4 plus 33 is 37. Okay, we're getting close to the end here. So now we have to split. We want to split the coefficient away from the variable so we can have that variable by itself. All right, now when we do this, we're going to split by dividing by -5 on both sides. But when we divide by a negative number, since we're dividing by a negative, we have to flip the inequality sign. So I want to make a very important note about that. Anytime you multiply or divide by a negative, flip the sign. Now we can simplify. -5 divided by -5 is a 1, which simplifies to 1k or just k. And then we can write the right side as just an unsimplified fraction because it can't get any more simplified than this. So if that fraction could be simplified, then we would, but -37 and 5 don't have any common factors, so this is its simplest form as a fraction. So our solution is that k, or that variable, is any number less than -37 over 5. So what that would look like on a number line let's just say we have -37 over 5. Drawn on the number line, because this is a less than, not a less than or equal to, this would be an open circle on -37 over 5 and everything less than that. So everything to the left